This is On the Sidelines with Box 13.
All right, we are back here on the sidelines, on the podcast. I'm Ethan McReynolds here. As always, my partner in crime, DJ Dante Jackson. Dante, the Seahawks have their opponent, the San Francisco 49ers, a rematch, round 3. How are you feeling?
The trilogy, the rubber match. How am I feeling? I'm feeling confident. I think the Seahawks have to feel confident also. But do not sleep on these 49ers. They have survived all season. I mean, I'm so impressed. I know they're our rivals and everything, but I'm just impressed with this 49ers team, the people they've lost, the players they've lost to injury, and they continue. And now they're in this spot right here against the Seahawks where they can go to the NFC Championship if they beat the Hawks. Now, I don't think that will happen, but it's a possibility.
It is crazy how they're even in this situation altogether. You're totally right. How they even had a chance to win their final game of the season and get the 1 seed in the NFC West division after losing Joey Bosa for the year, losing Fred Warner for the majority of the year. He's unlikely to play in this game, but if they advance, he could play next week. So, I mean, the amount of losses they've had, and then you throw in losing George Kittle against the Eagles. I mean, the bad luck just continues for the Niners.
Brandon Ayuk been missing in action all season, and Ricky Pearsall been in and out of the lineup all season. I have to say this has been Kyle Shanahan's best coaching job of his career. He has to be Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he's up there for sure. I mean, there was a lot working against the Niners and for the Seahawks in the build up to this game. But I mean, like that's why you get the 1 seed, right? I mean, so the Niners, they played on Sunday. They're going to be playing this coming Saturday. I think we all heard Kyle Shanahan being like, if the NFL is nice, they'll have this game on Sunday. No, the NFL doesn't care.
Yes.
The one seeds play on Saturday. That's sort of how it's always been. They're not taking injury considerations for specific teams into consideration. You got no George Kittle. The Seahawks are coming off their bye. They're rested. A lot of things going against the San Francisco 49ers. And for the Seahawks. So, yeah, I feel pretty confident going into this one. There's a reason why when I was sitting on my couch watching the Niners-Eagles game that I was rooting pretty heavily for the Niners after the Packers weren't able to get it done against the Bears. Right. I did not want any part of the Los Angeles Rams in the divisional round. If I'm very okay with the Rams having to go on the road again, into the Midwest, into the frigid temperatures of Soldier Field, having to earn another hard-fought physical win before coming to play the Seahawks in the NFC West in the NFC Championship. I want no part of the Rams if we can avoid it. That is easily going to be the Seahawks' hardest game this postseason. I'm feeling very confident about this Niners game, and that's what I was rooting for over the weekend.
I don't want to discount the 49ers. They just seem to always come out on top. This season is a witness to that. I mean, evidence of that. I'm sorry. So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I mean, I think any NFC West opponent is going to be tough. We know these teams. We know each other. You're not going to trick them. And that's one of my concerns about a bye week. The rest versus rust. But what I want, and they say they self-scouted, the Seahawks did, their coaching staff, I don't want them to get cute. I want them to continue to play the same brand of ball they've played for the last 5 or 6 weeks, which is smash-mouth, complimentary football, where the defense is the leader of the team and the offense takes the air out of the ball and runs it with Charbonnet and Ken Walker. So I wanted them to continue to do that. Hopefully this bye week don't give them a chance to think too much and get cute with some of these play calls. Continue to do what got you here and has you looking like the best team in the NFL.
Well, you talk about rest versus rust, and yeah, I think it's a valid conversation. But at this point in the NFL season, I think this bye week has such immense value. It's not like college football where you've got that 3-week break and then the top 4 get an extra week on top of that or whatever, and then they're actually rusty because they've been off for a few weeks, right?
Yes.
You talk about the disadvantage for the Niners. And then on the Seahawks side, you're getting Charles Cross back. You're getting Kobe Bryant back. You're getting Elijah Arroyo back probably. They were all full participants in practice on Tuesday. Yeah, the Seahawks are 7-point favorites for a reason. And, I think about what they did after their bye week this season. They came off of that Monday Night Football win over the Texans where there were some mistakes and they didn't really close that game out as well as they should have. They come out, Commanders on Sunday Night Football, absolutely boat race them. That's when the Super Bowl conversations really started to get legit because of how much you were able to shut down Jaden Daniels and what people thought was a solid Washington Commanders team. You beat them 38-14 in front of a national audience.
And it wasn't that close.
It was not close whatsoever. The next week, you put up 44 points against the Arizona Cardinals. So I think Mike Macdonald and his process, the environment, the culture that he's cultivated throughout his first 2 years as a coach, I think this bye week is an immense advantage on top of just getting healthier and with the rest.
Yes, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. You just as a fan and just somebody to watch, you worry about these little things.
Get a little antsy.
You get a little, you can have that anxiety, like don't get too cute. Are they going to come out firing on all cylinders? Because we've witnessed the Seahawks sleepwalk through halves of football. But this is the playoffs, and you can't sleepwalk through the first half because the 49ers are coming out, and they have nothing to lose. They're not supposed to win this game. They're not supposed to be in this game, and they want their lick back. That was a complete domination in Week 18. The score doesn't indicate the domination that the Seahawks had over the 49ers Week 18. And I don't think that sits well with Kyle Shanahan or his team. So this is going to be a desperate team that's going to throw everything at them. And they still have, stars in Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. And I love the way and how tough Jawan Johnson plays also. So Jawan Jennings. They still have weapons. They still have some top-notch players. So they're nothing to sneeze at. You need to go in cautiously, but I still think the Hawks pull it out, and I think they beat them handily.
I think what makes me feel so good about this game is seeing the pure domination in Week 18 in their house after the Niners had the late bye and that cupcake schedule rolling in. They were just absolutely rolling, and you still put the beat down on them. So, and then on top of that, you have all these advantages working in your favor. So, it should be even more of a beatdown, in my opinion.
Yes.
And yeah, you're right. That Week 18 game, it was a 10-point win. 2 missed field goals from Jason Myers, that doesn't happen very often.
Yes.
The 27-yarder chip shot that he missed, that's not going to happen again. So, if Jason Myers plays like he typically does, hits 2 field goals inside of 50 yards, that's a 19-3 win. You outgained them by almost 200 yards. We're talking about a much. I don't think anybody didn't think that was a domination that actually watched the game. But,
yes.
I feel really good about it because as for the Seahawks, you have so much more going for you than you did in that Week 18 win, and you still smacked them. So I think my favorite part about this matchup is how much these two teams very clearly do not like each other.
I love it.
And they're not shying away from it either. I think
Jennings.
Jawan Jennings was saying we want the Seahawks.
Be careful what you wish for.
Uchenna Nwosu's commenting on Fred Warner's post, the road ends here, brother. And then you got Jarran Reed talking to the media yesterday about this matchup with the Niners.
For one, we get a team that we don't like. Me personally don't like nothing about them. But, just get a chance to – go at them again. We don't do too much talking. We let our past talk, but we know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. It's about getting out there between them lines and, hitting it head on, man on man, mano a mano.
If there was any question about the focus of this team over the bye, it's just I feel like the fact that it's a division rival is keeping them even more focused than they would have been, say, if it was the Packers.
Yes, because they know the capabilities of the 49ers. And they know what that team is about. And everybody talks like the Rams and the 49ers are the big bad wolves of the NFC West. I had to do some research, Ethan. Since reorganization back in 2002, the Seahawks are actually the big bad wolf of the NFC West with 9 division titles. San Francisco coming in second with 6. So, the Seahawks have been the better team through history, and they definitely are the better team right now currently. Now, my question to you, piggybacking off of that, is why won't the national media just say it? The Seahawks are the best team in the league. Why is there so much like consternation and giving the Seahawks their flowers and saying, hey, this is the front runner. They're playing well. It's the Seahawks.
It's Sam Darnold. It starts there. I mean, he hasn't had the best second half ever. I mean, he'll tell you that, leading the league in turnovers with 20. Like, I mean, that hurts you in the playoffs. I mean, we saw, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, did Aaron Rodgers have any turnovers? I mean, we see in the playoffs time and time again, turnovers lose you football games in the biggest moments. So I think that's
he had two touchdowns. As a matter of fact, he had a pick six, which was his last
right.
throw,
Yep.
and then I think he fumbled, and they returned that for a touchdown.
So you see that play out, but I think for me and why the Seahawks are still the Super Bowl favorites in Vegas, one, the defense. And two, this running game has actually been spectacular over the last 3 weeks to end the season. I mean, that was something I wanted to talk about with this rematch with the Niners. In week 1, the Seahawks could not do anything on the ground. I think they averaged just over 3 yards per carry, just 84 yards in that matchup. The last 3 games, that matchup against the Niners, 180 yards on the ground. Over the last 3 games, over 170 yards per game, averaging 5.1 yards per carry.
Yes.
If this team can run the ball, I mean, you saw through the first half of the season, the reason Sam Darnold was so successful in the pass game was because the Seahawks were so committed to that run game that teams were stacking the box, and you were thrown against lighter secondaries, or they were respecting the run a little bit too much, and Sam Darnold's able to pick that apart. So when he started to struggle, teams realized you got to dare the Seahawks to run the football. And bet that they're not going to be able to do that. Lighter boxes, playing more nickel. The Rams played a lot of nickel in that first matchup where Darnold had 4 interceptions, more defensive backs on the field. And, he started to struggle. If the Niners can't stop the run, I mean, that just opens up Pandora's box of what you had throughout the first half of the year where the Niners are going to have to put extra guys in that box, and then that's when Sam Darnold sort of tears you apart with that play-action pass. So it's a really good matchup from what we saw in Week 18. Yes, the offense was not firing on all cylinders. 0 for 3 in the red zone. That's just not going to get it done every single day. With this defense, maybe it will. But if they're able to rush for 4.5, 5 yards per carry, I mean, the Niners don't have a chance, in my opinion.
What do the Seahawks have to do better in order to win a Super Bowl, win this 49ers game, and move on? What do they have to do better?
I mean, if they can limit the turnovers, which Darnold has done recently, and not putting the defense in negative territory. I mean, this defense is even with the turnovers, this defense is able to overcome that. So if you play mistake-free football on the offensive side of the ball, which is what they did in Week 18, it's why it felt like such a domination, right? Is you're moving the ball, you're playing good field position game, you're getting scoring opportunities. You should have capitalized on a couple more of them. But if you're able to do that and not turn the ball over, combined with this running game being an actual weapon and something that teams need to game plan for, as opposed to something that's sort of an afterthought, like, they're going to run it a bunch, but it's not going to be very effective. It's really the pass game that we got to key in on and making sure that we're making life hard for Sam Darnold. If you got to actually respect that run game, which teams have had to do the past 3 weeks, the sky's the limit. I can't see them losing, DJ.
Yeah, I think they have to score 6 instead of 3. You have to finish the deal, especially in the red zone. Yeah. It would have looked a lot better against San Francisco Week 18 if you cashed that first one in. But I might add also that the Seahawks offense actually played very well in that game, and the time of possession wasn't even close. And that was part of it for the defense. They wasn't out there all game long. Yeah. They wasn't out there long enough to get tired. They were nice and fresh, and they dominated that game. So I think it all worked together. It married together, just like those coaches talk about. But I think as far as the offense, I say continue to get the the ball in Ken Walker's hands. Now, we talked about it all year long. We're not saying he has to carry the ball 20 times a game for the rushes, but he does need 20 touches. And you can see that in some of these last 4 or 5 games. They started the screen game with Ken Walker. Those were some huge plays. That last game against the Rams. So continue to get him his touches. And Zach Charbonnet, he's been as advertised. I mean, he's already I think he has 13 touchdowns on the year. He's approaching Marshawn Lynch numbers as far as touchdowns, and he's not even a starting player. You know, he's splitting carries with Ken Walker.
He's the most since Marshawn in 2014.
Yes, which is amazing. So I think if you continue to get those two the ball and get more touches for Walker, more touches, and he's been more decisive too. I can see a change in his game in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's putting his foot in the ground and he's getting upfield. I was, just exhausted with Ken Walker a few weeks ago and wanted Zach Charbonnet to take that ball because he was losing too many yardage. It was too much negative plays. But he's changed that in the last 2 to 3 games, I would say. He's putting his foot in the ground. He's running angrier. You can even see in his demeanor. He's getting upfield, and I love to see that. And if he continues to play like he can play, or he has been playing, I don't think anybody's stopping this Seahawks squad.
Yeah, I mean, the 1-2 punch between the two of them, and I feel like Clint Kubiak is utilizing their strengths a lot better in the second half of the year, specifically the last 5 games.
And Coach McDonald.
Absolutely.
And Coach McDonald.
And you talk about the screen game, utilizing K9. I love it when they have both K9 and Charbonnet on the field at the same time. I felt like earlier in the year there were a few plays where I'm seeing Charbonnet out wide with K9 in the backfield. It's like, no, you got to switch that, and that's what they've been doing the last 5 weeks. You've got like the threat of a little bubble screen out to K9, and then you also have the threat of Zach Charbonnet running it down your throat. So I like what they're doing and utilizing both. You've got 2 incredible talents in the backfield.
Yes.
Use both of them. So, the run game has really come alive in the last 3 games specifically, and that's been without your best offensive lineman in Charles Cross, and you're getting him back. So, and then, not to disrespect Elijah Arroyo or anything to what he adds to this offense as well as being a great pass-catching option for Clint Kubiak. So a lot is working for the Seahawks in this game. Before we wrap this segment up, D-Jack, I know you said you're sort of worried a little bit about the Niners. We do Puget Sound, the panic meter. Let's do the Puget Sound confidence meter for this one. What is your confidence meter 1 to 10?
Okay, all right. As far as my confidence in the Hawk is a 9. It's as high as it can get.
I thought you said you were worried.
I'm a fan. I'm always worried. Come on. Come on.
9 for the confidence.
You're never 100%, right? That's why they play. That's why they play the game.
Being at a 9 instead of a 10 is you being worried.
Yes,
okay.
Of course,
right.
of course. Okay. I mean, if you watch that last game, I don't care about the analytics. I don't care about DVOA and all that other stuff. I have eyeballs. I had the eyeball test. That was complete domination. Now, it's hard to do that, 2 times in a row in such a short span, especially a division opponent. But I expect the Hawks to boat race the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know they're pros too. They're on scholarship too. They're tough. They're a tough team. I give them that much credit. But at the same time, this Hawks team, they're on a roll right now. And I want to give credit to Mike McDonald. Probably 6 weeks ago, he took the air out the ball. Let's call it what it is. Sam Darnold was turning the ball over a little bit too much for his liking. He realized, hey, this is a championship defense. If we run the ball and don't turn the ball over, then we can take this thing far. And that's exactly what happened. The blueprint right there. Take the air out of the ball. Sam Darnold hand the ball off, make 2 or 3 important throws a game, and I think this defense is good enough to carry this team to a Super Bowl.
I'm actually with you. I'm going confidence meter 9.
Yeah.
I feel, and that's really high for me. I know you're normally at a 10, and this is low for you at a 9. 9 is extremely high for me.
Yes.
I try to keep it more even-keeled. I feel really good about this game. There's a reason the Seahawks are 7-point favorites in a playoff game against a 12-win football team. That's nothing to sneeze at. You're getting healthy at the right time. This defense is just absolutely spectacular. It's the defense that is inspiring this confidence in what they can do against the Niners offense. Now, Robert Saleh, he's sort of had Clint Kubiak's number a little bit. 13 points put up for the Seahawks in both of the matchups against the Niners, the two lowest figures of the entire season for the Hawks. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. But again, we just talked about it. If they can run the ball, they're not going to give the Niners the football, and that time of possession number that you reference is going to be skewed once again. It was 37-23 in that Week 18 matchup.
Yes.
If you do that again, you don't need to put up a bunch of points. The Niners are going to have 4 possessions a half, and the Seahawks defense is not going to let them do anything. Christian McCaffrey is the Niners' big advantage in this game. The Seahawks do not have a Christian McCaffrey. But seeing what the Seahawks defense was able to do to McCaffrey in that Week 18 matchup, I feel spectacular.
Yes.
And I was losing a little bit of sleep before that Week 18 matchup because it'd been so long and he was playing so well. It's been so long since that Week 1 matchup. How are they going to match up again? No problem. It was zero problem. I mean, I know they have Jawan Jennings. I know that Ricky Pearsall's probably going to come back. They don't really scare me that much. They're guys, right? Brock Purdy does not scare me. He's not super mobile. I just don't see a world where the Seahawks don't win this football game pretty handedly.
Yes. I mean, I think they win the game. I think they boat race the Niners, but put some respect on their name. They are a team in the NFL, and they're pros, and they play the Seahawks tough as a division opponent. So I'm going to leave it at that. But what I wanted to do is move on to congratulations to some of our all-pros, Seahawks all-pros, Ethan.
Yes.
I think they have, 5, I believe, 4 of them being first-time all-pros, with Leonard Williams being a second-teamer, Devin Witherspoon. One of the snubs I wanted to talk about was Jason Myers. I thought Jason Myers should have been an all-pro. You're talking about a guy who broke the record as far as scoring for Seahawks franchise.
He wasn't even a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he's been nails all season minus this Week 18 game, so this is probably not the right time to make an argument for him.
He's been spectacular.
But he's been great all season. I think Jason Myers deserves to be an all-pro. One more that might surprise you, Tariq Woolen. He's not even a starter.
I don't know.
He's
if I
not
can
even
get behind
considered
that one.
a starter.
He's been good. All pro is a lot. That is a lot.
Okay, I would at least give him a Pro Bowl. I think Tariq Woolen has been playing, fantastic. And he's not even considered a starter right now. Josh Jobe and Witherspoon are the 2 starting cornerbacks. They try to tell you, well, the nickelback is a starter too. No, he's not a starter, but he's been playing fantastic. And I think he deserves some honors. I mean, when you're talking about bringing a Tariq Woolen in as a nickelback, whatever way they shuffle it up, you bring in an A-plus cornerback, to go against tight ends and whoever else. So I think Tariq Woolen deserves some recognition.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Pro Bowl or All Pro is the right recognition to give him. I think he had a spectacular second half of the season.
Yes.
And, in a contract year, he's making an excellent case for the Seahawks to actually want to bring him back. As opposed to, I remember with the trade deadline, they were sort of shopping him around a little bit, seeing what, teams were inquiring and stuff like that. He's been spectacular in locking down the back end of that defense.
Yes, and to your point, that was the best move that John Schneider did not make, not trading Boye Mafe and Tariq Woolen, because Mafe, he's starting to come into his own these last couple of weeks. I see him jumpy off the edge, making an impact. Now, if you had, and I want to give you this, or ask you this, 2 impact players in this San Francisco versus Seahawks game, give me 2 impact players, one on offense, one on defense.
Okay. Key to the matchup. Defensively, I'm going to Demarcus Lawrence. He's just a game wrecker. Leonard Williams got second-team All-Pro. I thought Byron Murphy was snubbed, and I thought Demarcus Lawrence was snubbed.
For sure. When you score, 3 touchdowns in the season as a defensive player?
He's spectacular. And just the value that he brings in the run game. And I think part of it is what we've talked about of how the brotherhood of this defense, and they're not trying to play the hero. They're not trying to make the hero plays. They're playing for each other. They're filling their gaps because they know the guy beside him is going to make the play, and trusting that their opportunity is going to come. So maybe in the stat sheet, DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy, their stats look pretty good, but maybe they could have been better if they were playing more selfishly. The team ball that these guys are playing, it doesn't surprise me that they only had one first-team All-Pro in JSN. just because of the whole team aspect of how this defense is playing. But yeah, man, those guys have been spectacular. Star Watch. The Star Watch, DeMarcus Lawrence on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, I'm looking for Zach Charbonnet to have another incredible game. Eclipsed 100 yards rushing against the Niners in Week 18. You had a lot of gripes about K9 throughout the season. I shared some of them.
And I think they were warranted.
Would it surprise you for me to tell you that K9 had the most scrimmage yards of his entire career this year?
No, it wouldn't, because one thing in their method of using K9, he's played a full season for the first time in his career.
Yeah, that's a good
so
point.
I would say Zach Charbonnet has actually helped his career, or sharing those carries has actually helped K9. Mm-hmm. They've kept him fresh all season, and this is the first season in his career that he's played a full season. So, I mean, we talk about the talent of K9. It's no denying it. He's a game breaker. Mm-hmm. I believe he's one of the top game breakers, if you ask me, after probably JSN. You go K9 as far as playmakers. So we know the talent is there. He just wasn't effective. And he didn't play that complementary style that you can see coming down the road that Mike McDonald wanted to implement on this team, which is run hard, hit the hole hard, get the 3 or 4 yards, and call it good. Now he's starting to do that, and you can see him coming to his own. Now he's gaining the confidence of this coaching staff. They put him in the screen game. They start to feature him other ways. Yep. So he had to build that confidence within the coaching staff and from his team, and now he has that. And look for him to take off. He's going to be a star in this playoffs. There's no denying it.
Who are your players to watch on the offensive and defensive side of the ball?
On the offense, I'm going to go with A.J. Barner.
I love that pick.
I just think the tight end in these two games, this game against San Francisco, I don't want to count my chickens. I don't want to look ahead. You caught me.
Confidence meter's creeping towards 10.
It's at a 9.5 right now. That quick. We just been talking about it. It's already shot up to a 9.5. But I'm going to just say this. A.J. Barner, I talked about him before the season. I said he's going to be that guy to watch. Look out for a breakout. Mm-hmm. I had two players, Byron Murphy and A.J. Barner. I said that before the season started, that those were my two breakout players for this season. And guess what? This playoff game, Star Watch, A.J. Barner, Byron Murphy.
I love that.
Byron Murphy, I hope he's peeved at the fact that he's not all pro. Now, sometimes you got to pay your dues, especially when it's veterans in the same position, even if the numbers in the play don't coincide with that. If Byron Murphy has the same year next year that he has this year, he's an all-pro.
Absolutely.
He's an all-pro.
Yeah.
So, politics aside. But Byron Murphy and A.J. Barner will be linchpins in this game against the San Francisco 49ers. That's my star.
I love that. I completely agree with that. All right, let's move on. We got some quick hitters. First, we're talking NFL playoffs. We're updating our pick standings. Playoffs. Austin Lane. Last week, he was in the lead by 1 game over myself. He is now in the lead by 2 games. He went 5-1. I went 4-2. Will Ortner of Chat Sports, he went 5-1 to come into a tie with me. We are each 2 games behind Austin. Dante at 36 wins. A good week for you, Dante. 4-2.
Oh, man. I was so close to being undefeated right there. The Carolina Panthers couldn't seal the deal. And then
I was
Green
thinking
Bay
about you
drops
that
a
whole
21-point lead.
Man.
I mean, my picks to catch up. I thought I had the plan in place. It was so close, but not close enough.
I was thinking about you that entire Carolina Panthers game, man. DJ,
I thought they had him. All
right, let's go over our picks for this divisional round week. No surprise, everybody is picking the Seahawks, so we'll skate past that game.
Go Hawks.
Rams at Bears. We're all on the LA Rams except for Austin Lane. He is on the Chicago Bears. I actually almost picked the Bears.
Yes.
Because the Rams are so bad in cold weather. I mean, it's supposed to be sub 20 degrees with wind in Chicago. I think I saw a stat. Matthew Stafford is 1-9. It's either in his career or in the last 5 years. In his last 10, when the temperatures are below 30 degrees or something like that. So, I mean, Matthew Stafford struggling in the cold. That is a thing. The LA Rams playing in that dome. Struggling in the cold. That is a thing.
Yes.
So
and he has an injury to his hand.
He's got that hand injury as well.
hey, it gets cold quick.
Yeah, but you like the Rams. They're a better football team.
I mean, I continue to kind of poo-poo the Bears. And they've shown me wrong all season. They have, 7 fourth-quarter comebacks. Caleb Williams plays very well in the clutch. They call him Clutch Caleb, so Captain Clutch. So the Bears have proven me wrong every turn, but I just cannot go against those Rams. Not in this instance right here. I think the Rams win a close game against the Bears.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game no matter what. I mean, and hey, honestly, I know Austin is in front of me in the picks, and I got to make up some ground. I will be rooting for the Bears. I don't want any part of the Rams.
Oh, money line! What happened, money line? You was up so.
I don't want to.
Come
talk
on,
about
man!
It.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it, man. I wanted to. I told Austin. I asked Austin yesterday. Can we skip this segment?
You know he don't want to skip that.
I'm just choking
man.
it away right now.
I'm
just choking it away right now.
He walked you down.
Oh man!
Now he's spreading it out.
If things go my way this week, I mean, we got a whole different
You
conversation.
back in it?
We could be back in it.
And
I'm very confident in my picks this week. Let's go to the AFC matchups. Bills at Broncos. DJ, you and me, we're on the Bills.
Yes.
Austin and Will, they're on the Broncos. The Broncos are the 1 seed with the bye at home. They're only a 1.5 favorites. They're only giving a 1.5 to the Bills. So I like Josh Allen. He's the better quarterback in this matchup. I picked against him last week. Proved me wrong. I'm not going to pick against him again.
No. And that's that's a 2-word answer. Josh Allen. That's why I picked the Bills. I expect a Seahawks-Bills Super Bowl. That's if you want. I mean, hopefully I didn't give nothing away. Maybe we was going to do that next episode. But hey, listen, you can't go against Josh Allen. He's the best player in the league right now. Period.
Yeah, that Broncos defense does scare me. I did watch what the Texans defense did to the Steelers last game, but I think the Bills are better than what the Steelers showed. That leads into our next picks: the Texans at the Patriots. Everybody's on the Texans except for your boy right here. I'm going with the New England Patriots. I think everybody is I don't know how people are sleeping on a 14-3 New England Patriots team, but I think Drake May is the truth. I really like him. The Patriots offense is better than the Steelers offense. The Texans defense is very good, but I really like Drake May. If Aaron Rodgers was able to do anything with his feet, I mean, that I think that game sort of plays out a little bit differently. Drake May is a very mobile quarterback. I like for him to get things done. Also, Patriots defense is playing very well, only giving up 3 points to the Chargers. But why are you on the Texans?
You know what? You said it. This was a close call for me. I only picked the Texans because Drake May is young and inexperienced, and he hasn't. But he is the truth. And he's probably, second right now in the running for MVP behind Matt Stafford. And it was a time there where we thought he might be the MVP. Yeah. I think this Patriot team is ahead of schedule. That's the only reason why I picked against them, because I think Houston Texans has a tough defense. C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback. So I think the Texans have just enough to eke past the Patriots. But I agree with you. I think the Patriots are a great opponent, and I think they have a good chance of winning this game.
The thing for me watching that, I watched the entirety of that Texans-Steelers game. C.J. Stroud, I felt like, was playing for the other team.
Yes.
I mean, he's turning the ball over left and right. It's like, C.J., the Steelers aren't doing anything on offense. Just like if they just ran the ball 50 times, they would have won that football game 3-0.
Right.
I mean, it was ridiculous. So my trust in C.J. Stroud is waning. I think he's very turnover prone. He has got a big play in him left and right, but I think Drake May is the better all-around quarterback. But the whole narrative of the Patriots not playing a tough schedule. Yeah, I was looking at their schedule before the podcast, and it's not great. So we'll see how that plays out.
And let me just say this for all these people, because I've been seeing this a lot on national and all of the talking heads. The Seahawks defense is the best unit in football. Period. Houston Texans defense. We played the Texans, beat the brakes off of them, if you ask me. And you asked Stingley Jr. what JSN did to him. So stop with the Houston Texans has the best unit in football. It is the Seattle Seahawks with the best unit in football. That is this defense. MOB, come on over to the dark side. Let's go, baby.
Drake May about to put up 30 points on that Texans defense for me to lead this comeback. All right. That is enough NFL football. Let's go to some quick hitters to end this episode. First off, Damon Williams. He's back.
Back like he never left.
Well, I don't know if it's like he never left. I mean, I am so intrigued to see how this UW Huskies. I was already going to be intrigued because I thought they had a pretty good football team, a chance to make the playoff. But now you throw in this wrinkle of Husky Nation is upset, and I think rightfully so. I see both sides. We talked about it last week.
We talked about it last week.
You know, that's life-changing money for Damon Williams. And he's got some people in his ear. He's a young guy. Obviously, Mia Hammett, timing aside, that was pretty awful, and he admitted as much and apologized in his statement. I'm still sort of waiting for him to step in front of a microphone and take some questions and sort of, put his face behind it instead of the statements. Hopefully, I'm hopeful that will happen at some point. But he's back. I'm seeing a lot of mixed reaction, a lot of people that don't want him back. I'm not a Husky fan. I'm not an alum or anything, so sort of neutral party, if you will. I don't know. I honestly don't know how I would be feeling if I was a Husky fan. How would you be feeling, D-Jack, about Damon Williams coming back? Would you embrace him with open arms? Thank God we don't have to go into the portal and go over all that. We got the guys back together. Or are you like, man, kick rocks?
Yeah, you just got to catch me on the right day. Because either you're with us or you're against us. And we know Damon Williams did not want to be here. So in that sense, hey.
Well, he wanted the money.
Well,
I don't know if he didn't want to be at UW.
All right. But at the same time, he's a 19-year-old young man. Everyone makes mistakes. He doubled back. He apologized, and he wants to come back to the Huskies. So I embrace him and open, a full embrace. Come on back, Damon. Now, the question is about the trust,
Yeah.
The trust was broken. But you win those first 4 games and you throw 4 touchdowns and you run around the yard and throw the ball over.
Race.
People will forget really quick.
Yep.
And, in a weird way, and I hate to say this, Ethan, this is good for the Huskies football program because they were irrelevant. They were irrelevant, and that was part of my problem. You didn't talk about Huskies football, even in Seattle. They like the fourth thing you talk about, fourth sport, the fourth team. No, you don't talk about them right now these days. So the fact that he did, what they say, all publicity is good publicity. That's the way I'm going to look at it. He put them on the map, and now all eyeballs will be on Damon Williams next season. He has to deliver. He put that pressure on himself. He has to deliver, but now the eyeballs is going to be on this program. One more thing, Ethan, before we move on from this. This was not a good look and still is not a good look for the Huskies, if you ask me, because now you have a reputation. If I'm a blue chipper, do I want to come to the Huskies? Like, it just –
he signed a contract.
I get
that's
it.
If he just entered the portal, they wouldn't have
all
sued
things
him.
Aside, it's still a stain. It's a stain
disagree.
on both of them.
It's
a stain on both of them. I'm telling you, Ethan, I'm telling you right now. It's a stain on both the program and the player from this situation. And the contract worked. It forced him to come back. It was an ironclad contract. They put clauses in it, language in it. He had to come back. The buyout was too much. So everything the Huskies did was right. I'm not saying they did anything wrong, but still, you held a player back. That is not a good look when you go to recruiting some of these blue chippers.
Completely
now,
disagree.
You can get a 2-star. You'll get a 3-star.
Completely
Are you going to get a 4 or 5-star player?
They did.
After who? After this? Who?
They'll be fine. They'll be
okay.
fine.
All right.
This is not going to impact them whatsoever.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly right there.
You sign a contract, you have to – it's totally within the Huskies' rights to expect you to uphold that.
No, and I said
what are they supposed to do?
It's not about right and wrong. See, that's the difference. Like, everything is not black and white. I'm talking about the gray area here where you held a player back regardless whether you're right or wrong. And if I'm a blue chipper, do I want to go to Washington because of this?
It's not like if Damon Williams had entered the transfer portal without signing a contract and UW trashed him on the way out and, did all this stuff and very clearly did not have his best interests in mind. I would 100% agree with you. That is not what happened whatsoever. So I think it is two completely different situations that we're talking about.
Now, you talk about trash on the way out. I still have reservations on whether Damon Williams will ever play for the Huskies, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, no, he'll absolutely play. Jed Fish released a statement and was like, we fully support him.
I get that, but some of this stuff is an open wound, you know. I mean, Jed Fish's wife comes out immediately on Instagram, disgusting. You're like, how do you repair that?
I mean,
how do you fix that?
To your point, winning fixes everything. But people are quick to remember when you lose. So, I mean, there is now a lot of pressure on Damon Williams and this Huskies the entire team, on Jed Fish as well.
Yes.
I mean, the spotlight is now on him. Irrelevant. They were in the national title game 2 years ago. You're right. They're buried on the totem pole in Seattle sports because of the market that we're in. They were in the title game two years ago.
They had a big three this season. Boston, Noah Williams, I think his name, the running back.
Jonah Coleman.
Yep. I'm sorry. And you had Damon Williams. 3 players I think is just as good as anybody in the country, and you hardly ever heard of them.
Yeah.
You didn't hear of them outside of this geography here.
I mean, they weren't playoff contenders.
I get they were in the running. They win that one game in Wisconsin, and it was it was murmurs that, hey, if you win that one, you might be in the running for the playoffs. So they wasn't, and they lost. But what I'm saying is they wasn't totally out of it, and that was late in the season. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is you had players here. You had players here, like frontline players, and it was no buzz. It's just no buzz behind this program right now. And if you ask the alum, I've talked to quite a few alumni, and they'll tell you the same thing. It's no buzz behind Huskies football, and hopefully, I mean, this ironically enough, this bad publicity from Damon Williams brings the spotlight back to this program because everybody's going to want to see what he does.
Yeah. Well, I'll agree with you on this. There will be buzz on the Husky football team coming into this season.
Get him, Damon. When the lights are on, you got to perform.
All right, running out of time. Quick hitters, Mariners offseason update. Spring training's less than a month away. Isn't that crazy?
I'm not ready.
I don't know. Yeah,
not for this roller coaster.
Yeah.
No.
The everyday ups and downs.
Not ready for it.
Oh man, this would be fun to talk Mariners baseball this upcoming season.
Are you going to spring training?
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
I know you went last year.
Yeah. Oh man, It was super fun. It was a lot of fun. No, yeah, we do not know. It would be a lot of fun to go cover this team over there. So less than a month away. Team's still looking for one more bat. Ketel Marte off the market. Diamondbacks have said that he's not going anywhere. So that brings the options to, most likely, Brendan Donovan with the Cardinals. We talked about him. Apparently, Jarangelo Saincha and Laz Montez are the players that are being discussed.
Wow.
Not sure if it's both or if it's one or the other, but those are the players that are being discussed. So it's a sky-high asking price, and that's sort of, give some insight into why a deal hasn't been done yet with any team. I mean, the Cardinals are asking for a lot for him, and they should. 775 OPS, just below 800, with one of the lowest strikeout rates in the leagues. Brendan Donovan's a good player, and he plays multiple positions. Nico Horner with the Cubs. I mean,
that's probably my pick right there.
He best second baseman by WAR last year in the entire league. That is going to be a sky-high asking price, even though he only has 1 year left on his deal. And the Cubs don't even have to move him. They just signed Alex Bregman. They're in win-now mode. My issue, or the problem that I foresee with trying to get Nico Horner, the Cubs don't have to trade him. And whereas, the Cardinals are more in rebuilding mode, they have more incentive to trade him. And the Cubs are going to want big league talent. They're going to want a Bryce Miller. They're going to want guys that can impact them at the major league level. The Mariners aren't really in the position to trade those guys right now. You're more so looking at the depth of talent you have in the farm system, guys that are far off of Jarangelo Saincha, Laz Montez. So I don't really know if there's a fit there.
Yeah, I think, believe it or not, I trust the organization.
I do too.
I think a deal will happen.
Think about where we were at this time last year. Think about saying those words.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. I even, think to myself, like, what am I saying? But I just trust this organization to get a deal done. Now, they're doing their due diligence. They're negotiating right now. It might seem like a lull or it's not happening or not doing anything. I'm positive that they're behind the scenes trying to get the best lineup, the best players available. They understand that window is now, and if you want to capitalize on that, you need a few more players to get you over the hump. Everybody knows it. The organization knows it, and I think they will come through with the player they need.
The most recent trade deadline has completely rebuilt the trust in this front office for me personally. So I know Mariners fans are really antsy right now, but me personally, I'm not freaking out that much.
No.
You got Naylor done. You got the reliever that you needed. Yeah, you want more. I trust that they understand how much they need more.
And when you get a player like Naylor and you get him so early, Mariner fans don't forget that was one of the biggest acquisitions of the offseason. Just because they did it early don't mean they stand in pat. And so they did get Naylor, and that was the priority. Go from there.
Baseball fans have a short memory. I think understandably so. The last option, really quick, Gino Suarez, reunion with him. My worry, he's still out there, and it's sort of the fallback option. I mean, what if he's like, screw this. I'm just going to go to Boston and like go into spring training knowing where I'm going. I'm not going to wait out the Mariners to see if they're going to get Brendan Donovan or not. So that's my concern, is that you end up with nobody out of this whole thing. So we'll see what happens there. Really quick, Kraken still in the playoff mix. They're still playing good hockey. 66.5% chance to make the playoffs per Money Puck. I mean, 3 weeks ago, the interesting part of this, and we don't really have time to dive into this. Maybe we'll have Curtis Crabtree on soon to dive into this. But what the Kraken do at the trade deadline in early March, because this team is not good enough to win, a couple playoff series and contend for a title. It's a weak Western Conference. It's a weak Pacific Division. They're 4 points out of first place, but they're only 2 points above being out of a playoff spot. So this team is not really in a position to go all in. It's like, how do you sort of toe that middle line? I mean, it's like the Mariners a few years back where they decided, they were sort of in the wild card hunt, but they decided to trade Paul Sewald for Dominic Canzone and Josh Rojas, sort of because Sewald's contract was going to be up at the end of the year, sort of like a, bolstering the, sort of rearranging for this year, but looking ahead to the future, like sort of playing both sides. I think that's the worst that's the worst place to be in my opinion, is to where you can't really do one or the other. I sort of think the Kraken will end up moving a couple of guys on expiring contracts, but I don't know. It's an interesting discussion.
They 7-2-1 in the last 10.
Yeah, playing great hockey.
They've had 32 one-goal games. All right? The special teams is a lot better. The power play is better. The penalty kills are better. So they have proof of concept in Coach Lambert's system. They're playing tough. They're playing these overtime games. So the proof of concept is there. They're playing tough and close. Now they need that one star to put them over the top. Now, you don't give up the farm for that, but I still think they need that one linchpin player, that one star, and I think this is a good team.
Yeah, and Berkeley Cadden stepping up, young player. Matty Beniers is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Good. We need that.
I got to show you after this the goal he scored against New Jersey, I want to say. No, it's Carolina. I mean, he just puts this one dude on skates. So
and I just want to give a quick shout out to Ben Myers on that fourth line also. Center. So he's playing well.
Spectacular. Yeah.
So that fourth line is a talk of the town right now.
And then wrapping up the Sounders beginning 2026 training. And I was
already?
They leave for Europe, Portugal, and Spain on Sunday for their preseason training camp and everything. I mean, it's great. Season's starting earlier because of the World Cup. They get that big break in the middle of the season, but yeah, I mean they get no time off in the ML in soccer in general.
Go Sounders.
My one note, I was out there yesterday. From what I could see, Andrew Thomas was getting run with the ones. I thought you would like to hear that.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. That's no surprise.
Yeah. Brian Schmetzer did say he did put on the record it's going to be a competition there. So there's not a set starter, but I mean it's very telling. Andrew Thomas running with the ones to start practice.
Hey, like I said, forget the analytics. I saw it with my own eyes. I have the eyeball test. Andrew Thomas will be the starting keeper this season.
You heard it here first. that's going to do it for us. For D-Jack Dante Jackson, I'm Ethan McReynolds. We'll see you next time on The Sidelines.
Let's go!
On the Sidelines is available wherever you get your podcast.